I had so much fun filming last week's vlog, probably because I was talking to some of my very favorite people, teenagers. Yep, I love teenagers. That's why I became a teacher. I know. It's a tricky age. They can be demanding and unpredictable and rude and obnoxious, but they can also be passionate and fascinating and intense. There's just so much to love. Thinking about all the teenagers that I've enjoyed over the years, my own 4 teens that I raised and the hundreds of teens that I've taught in school, I thought I'd really like to help everyone get along better with their teenagers. So listen up while I give you a little bit of background before I share the #1 tip I have on how to get along with the teenager in your life. So one thing you definitely need to keep in mind while we're talking about teenagers, the teenage brain hears and sees things differently than your brain does. Let me give you an example. Maybe this will sound familiar to you. As a mom, I would say something like this: "Why haven't you done the dishes?" And they would say, "Mom, stop yelling at me." And I would say, "This is not yelling." "This is yelling." "This is not yelling. I just asked you a question." It drove me crazy. I was not yelling at them. But that's what they would accuse me of. As a school teacher, I would hear students talk about certain teachers and they would say, "Oh, he yells at us all the time." And yet I would find out that that teacher really wasn't a yeller. So that made me really curious. What was going on in the teenage brain? If you talked to them intensely, they heard it as yelling. Well, after years of experience, I have come to the conclusion that they literally hear things differently than we do. When we hear ourselves say, "Why haven't you done the dishes?" a teenager very possibly is hearing, "Why haven't you done the dishes?" It reminds me of the Monsters, Inc. movie where the blue monster doesn't realize how scary he is until he gets to see it through the little girl's eyes. Yes, our teenagers have bigger bodies, but keep in mind, they're still children. They're hearing us with their children ears, and we come across a lot scarier than we think we do. Hang on, I'm getting to the secret. Teenagers hear and interpret things differently than you do as the adult in their life. So now I'm ready to give you the secret of how to get along with teenagers. You ready? Don't freak out. Yep. Stop it. Stop freaking out. Now, you think freaking out means your head's spinning around or you're screaming at your kid or you're swearing. No, not to teenagers. To teenage ears, freaking out can be something as simple as, "What do you mean you didn't get your homework done?" Freaking out can be saying, "How was your day? Tell me how school went. Why is it you never talk to me?" Yeah, that third question, you've now hit where kids are saying, "And then my mom freaked out." Freaking out is anything that has just a little too much emotion, a little too much heat, a little too much intensity. Remember that what they see as freaking out could seem really minor to you. If you don't know what your type of freaking out looks like, ask your teen. They will tell you. Most likely, some of them are already telling you. They say it in words like, "Okay, calm down," or, "Oh, I shouldn't have said anything to you," or they just march off and slam the door. If you are lucky enough to have a teenager confide in you, my first advice to you is shut up. Listen. Don't freak out. Don't give judgment. Don't call someone's parent. Don't call a principal. Don't call a teacher. Just listen. Most other things are considered freaking out. Teenagers need the adults in their life, but too often they're afraid to come to us for fear that we will freak out, that we'll ask too many questions, that we will make demands, that we will pass judgments. So my best advice is don't freak out. And if you can stay calm, no matter what they say to you, no matter what they do, your teenagers will feel safe around you. They'll open up to you. If you'd like help talking with your parent or you'd like help talking with your teenager, I'd be happy to help you out. That's my specialty as a life coach, parent-teenager communication. Feel free to private message me on Facebook with your number and I'll get back with you. To all my teenage friends, thanks for being in my life. I would love to hear your thoughts on my advice to the adults in your life. Are there other things that you wish they knew? What else would you like me to talk about? If you enjoyed this video, I would really love it if you hit the like button and you share the video. And for my closing moment, I thought I'd share some of the moments in this video where I was freaking out. Okay. Being a teenager is about being cool. So if you want your teenager to listen to you, you got to be a little cooler. So my best advice... I hate you. And as always, all my love.